that's a bigger question. How do we make what's happened for us happen for others? Applies to the friends and family that we have here who've wrapped their arms around us from time to time. And it's why, as time has gone by and I go back to that, those conversations that we have year over year about what can we do? I feel like I've been given this great gift of the talent that I have, the chance to pursue an education, to have a good career. I've had amazing tour through different jobs and different opportunities and been asked to do things and been able to say yes. And all along the way, I've always felt like every one of those doors open for me requires of me to open some doors as well. How can you do that? Again, so many different ways. So when it comes time for me to think about, or for us, for Noelle and I, to think about what can we do, what's being called of us, it's a very different conversation really every year, because we like to spend some time looking at each other and thinking and reflecting. And what are the gifts of the year that's passed? What are the gifts that we've had really over a lifetime? And how do we return those in such a way that they become an investment, something that grows for others? And then we had this really interesting wrinkle happen in our life. Always kind of catches me for a moment. And that was when we realized, we were told that our son had this tremendous gift. Call it a gift now. And that was when he was diagnosed with autism. More specifically now, we know it's Asperger's syndrome. And I remember, kind of head goes down to your chest when you hear anything about yourself and your health. But a child in particular, that's just stuff that you hear about. It happens to others. It's in the news. It's part of different and various causes and research centers and all of that. It wasn't us. It was our first child. And that just felt like that was a blow. And what does that mean? And what is that going to entail for us? And how will that set us back in our career journey, our life journey? Oh, so many things. It was overwhelming until we kind of came around to the fact that we're two teachers. We're two loving parents. Who better for God to give a child with this gift, with this challenging gift, than to us? And in the midst of all that, and I can only look at it as, hindsight is 2020, is to realize that's when things kind of got real for us. That was a step forward also in terms of really a committing to, a recommitting, a renewal for us in our faith, because it seemed like God was saying, you can do this. You're going to have to, and you're going to somehow come through this, understand it, learn it, grow from it, possibly lead from it. And it's been so true. I have learned more from raising him than I did in 11 years of college, including graduate school. He teaches me every day something I don't know about myself, about life, about this world, about how much more there is to know than we really can know. Drew has drawn us, much like his beautiful sister, who's 4 years younger, to have this very unique family, this special family that also is part of a very special faith family here too. What we've learned and how important it is for us to share that, we've also realized that comes in a lot of different ways as well. First of all, it's talking about it, bringing our talents in that regard, sharing his story. Indeed, he's now at an age where he tells that story. He's helped other teachers in his school district understand what it means to have a Drew in the classroom, and what you better do to make that happen. Also part of that, also along that journey where we said, you go and you meet with other friends, and I have colleagues, and telling the story, you find someone who's struggling. They're struggling with a child, with a special need. And sometimes it's autism, for example. It's so prevalent now, it's so known now. And they don't have the means, the opportunities. They haven't had that chance to work with some special teachers or be part of a group. And they've been struggling to find their way on their own. And that's when I turn to Noelle, or we turn to each other and say, how do we make what's happened for us happen for others? Here we were working with other groups, organizations, giving to help educate, research, do some things for our son, our community. But then it always came back to the church. It always came back to the seat, kind of where you say home is where the heart is. There's at least one day a week when I'm here where it's, home is where the heart is, but gosh, God's home is where it all is. I mean, that's everything. I don't come to this place on a Sunday and not find myself in awe of some moment, something that happens. Sometimes it's a strain of music. Sometimes it's looking down and looking at the bulletin and saying, on that day, my favorite hymn from all time, although I have probably 20 of them, we're going to get to sing that. And the next question is, am I going to be able to make my way through it? Because I know what it's going to feel like. And that just kind of says it all. That's a unique feeling. That's a unique experience, and it's an evolving one. And maybe that's a good point as well. As I've evolved, my family has evolved, my faith has evolved. So much of that, almost a decade now, has happened right here. Can't place a value on that. And how exciting to think of the journey that's ahead for us as well.